We are live. Hey guys, welcome on the inside of today's rad live stream called Sensual Expansion. We're talking about how to claim and unleash your divine feminine. We're going to dive right in today with some juicy conversation around some of the myths that keep people suffering in either love or life. So some rad myths today. My name is Vanessa Simpkins from takeyourpowerbacknow.com. Joining you guys here from sunny Mount Shasta, Northern California. Let me know if you guys can all hear me and see me. Drop a comment here below if you're joining in on Facebook, if you're catching a replay, or if you're catching the replay on YouTube. Let me know that you guys can all hear me and see me so I can say hello. Chemika is here. She's from Texas, is in the house. We got Portland, Oregon. We even got the UK. What's up? Trisha Campbell's in the house from Las Olas Beach, Florida. Thank you. You guys can hear me and see me. Awesome. Kristen is here. Two Kristens, Trisha, Susan, Chemika. Amazing. You guys are on Zoom here live. Let me just dive right in for you guys today because I want this to be an interactive conversation. So put everything away. And I want to start off by just breaking this out here for you guys. I will absolutely share my story, but I want to share with you these three myths that really, if you believe these myths either in life or in love, they really make you suffer. And I've been chewing on this for quite some time. And then I'm going to dive into my story, and then I'm going to dive into some more content. Cool. You guys with me? So the first myth is that, and we're talking about broad range, transformation here, radical transformation, radical change. Everybody in the whole world is going through this massive awakening on the planet, right? It's like the most incredible time to be alive. And yours truly here is not void of going through a massive awakening on so many levels. And so I wanted to bring this training for you guys today about, what that transformation has been like for me, being on the other side of it now, 2 years, post-pandemic. So welcome if you're just tuning in and joining us. Drop a comment. Let me know where you guys are from so I can say hello. Drop any questions in the chat as well. So first myth that we get told, this first lie that we buy into is that if you're a good person, life won't be painful. Right? Life will be easy and you won't have to feel hard feelings, right? These are all lies. And now what you see on social media are mostly highlight reels. Okay, I was having a great conversation with my sister yesterday about, these expectation hangovers that we have, which is a great book. If you guys haven't read Christine Hassler's book called The Expectation Hangover, get it. It's super rad. It came out several years ago. And she was doing some yoga here in the basement and was like, oh my God, this is such a good book. So we had this big conversation about did you ever expect yourself to be here at this time in your life? Let me know in the chat. How many of you guys feel like, oh my gosh, my business should be more profitable? I should be doing more. I shouldn't, you have this expectation that life is supposed to be easy or less painful or less hard. And that really makes us suffer. I should be, 43 years old, should have kids by now. So many different areas. This myth really can make you suffer. Let me know if you can relate. What is an expectation that you thought that, hey, by now, I shouldn't be where I am today? And this is when we really are not in the vibration or frequency of acceptance, and it makes us suffer. No judgment here, no criticism. It's just hey, awareness. Yes. Chemika says, I can relate to that. So what you see on social media are a lot of highlight reels. Life is hard. Life is painful. I've been doing a lot of deep inner work over the last 2 years, going through a divorce, a move, a complete identity shift, a new relationship, heartbreak, not wanting to run my business the way that I ran it. Yes, I've made millions of dollars. Yes, I've empowered thousands of women. I'm so grateful. And yet at the same time, when 2020 began, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to run at this level. I don't want to feel like a slave in my marriage or in my business. how do I stop these programs that have transformed, they've done so much good for so many women. I mean, it was like an incredible 2 years of burning everything down. And my identity, my ego, like, wow, did I really struggle? And I'm going to share with you guys a video because I think this video is just so powerful. A little bit of inspiration for you guys, because the more we hang on to like what we know, right? Because like we're creatures of habits, human beings experience, you know, this is what I know. The more we do that, the more it costs you money, the more it costs you time, suffering, you know, going through that process, hanging on to what I knew. Wow, did it cost me thousands, maybe millions of dollars? Wow. And if I would have known what I know now, it would have been a lot easier, right? But we don't know that. How can we keep our hearts open, trusting, surrendered, and in faith in the unknown? And I think this is the massive awakening that everybody is having right now on the planet. So my intention here is to really share some inspiration, some tips, some tricks, some guidance to help you guys navigating this. Kristen says, should be making more money, should be more successful. Trish says, I love my earrings. Totally can relate to that. Let me know, would be already married with kids right now, right? So we have these expectations. So let me go ahead and share this video that I found on Instagram. It's just,
you can't tell God.
Hold on. Wait, pause. Jeez, that was like so fast, dude. Give me a minute. It says, you can't tell God how to bless you. Okay, let me share the screen and go on there again. Can you see it?
See, you can't tell him what you want and then tell him how to do it. Because it ain't gonna ever be the way you want it to. Because if where you at today, if God had showed you what you would have to go through to get to where you are today, you would turn back. You would go, oh, no. I don't want that part. I don't want to do that. I don't want that part. You would have missed who you are today. Because in order to get to who you are, you had to go through every single thing you went through. You wouldn't even know what you know. You know, you hear old people say all the time, you can't have a testimony without a test. You can't tell God how to.
All right. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Did you guys hear that? Steve Harvey, right? Did you guys hear? Because I switched it to the sound. Yes, you heard it. You can't tell God, right, what to do, how to do it. I mean, boom. I caught this the other day and I was like, oh shit. We pray for things. I want this relationship. I want this marriage. I want this house. I want this vacation. I want this ease. I want this joy. I want this creativity. I want this pleasure. Whatever it is that we want. Talk about a truth bomb, right? But you don't get to say how it's going to happen. And not just that, like, if you knew, like if I knew looking back on 2 years, the pain, the heartbreak, the grief, the loss, the loneliness, I don't know if I would have gone on the journey, you guys. And I am so grateful I did. And I don't regret a second of it. And I wouldn't change it. And now I'm here on this other side of like, I wake up in the morning, might have an orgasm, dance in the kitchen. I might put some clothes on. I look good. Yeah, shit. Maybe I'll do a photo shoot. Totally creative. I might do a workout, garden outside. I have a peaceful life. I have so much peace in my life, groundedness, time. It's just things that you can't even put a price tag on them. I'm so grateful. Joy. Peaceful profits. Don't need $1 million a month to prove my worth to people. I've got nothing left to prove. And I don't give a shit what people think about me. Freedom, like incredible. So I want you guys to just like think about that, as you're making these, prayers to God, or like, hey, I want this, hey, I want that. What you've got to go through to get there. Oh my gosh, right? We don't get a say in that. Trust, surrender. Oh my God, did I ever have a problem with that? And we're talking about like claiming and unleashing your divine feminine. What does the feminine do? Relax, receives, surrenders. Hardest thing in the world. True or true? Have you guys ever struggled with this? Oh my God. So your growth comes from the hardest, most challenging times, feelings, and experiences, and nobody's coming to save you but you. So, um, you and your connection with your higher power, God, source, spirit. And then there's got to be that trust and surrender. So that's the first myth. Cool or cool? You guys like the first myth? Susan says truth bomb, right? Yeah, right on. Okay, truth. Myth number 2, the second myth. This is about love. This is about love, and this is something that I recently came across. And the myth is that I'm actually going to record this. Recording it halfway through. The second myth is about love. And the second myth is really for anyone going through a heartbreak, pining over an ex or a lost lover, or maybe you're out on the dating scene. And the myth is that, oh my gosh, that was my soulmate, or, I've missed my chance. And what I learned is that compatibility is something that you get to choose. It has nothing to do with this whole soulmate business. Oh, the twin flame, all this shit. I don't want to hear about it, man. Like, the end. Don't even talk to me about that shit. Don't even talk to me about that noise. I'm not interested. Compatibility is something that you get to choose. It's not about your soulmate or your twin flame. Compatibility is something both parties choose to show up for and work at together. And we're talking about working through your trauma. You get into a relationship, love is an easy thing. Love is actually very fucking easy. You can fall in love in a heartbeat. Okay. Very easy. Compatibility, bonding. This is another whole story. And after about a year or so, like, all the frogs come out, as my friend used to say. All the frogs come out, right? All of your trauma, all of your wounding comes out. And this is where, like, the rubber meets the road. You're either going to find somebody who's like in it to win it with you and is willing to face their shame, their inadequacy, really hard feelings, man, really hard feelings, loneliness, grief, rejection, abandonment, and become a secure attachment, right? Or you're going to see people just fizzle out. And what's really interesting in my marriage, I was this avoidant, right? We have these different attachment styles. If you guys read the book Attached, so we have like the avoidant, things get too much, man, too close, not safe, I'm out of here. In my last relationship, I was the insecure attachment, the one who's like kind of leaning in, trying to like, hey. And so there's this, like, there are two pieces of a puzzle that match perfectly, right? The insecure and the avoidant. And a lot of people actually mistake the chemistry for love. No, it's not love. It's just, the anxiety that you felt when you were a kid. Ding, 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 ding. So relationships that become secure are really about two people in it to win it, that are committed to having painful feelings, learning communication tools, and being willing to be vulnerable, and learn ways of communicating and relating and working on their stuff together. So that's myth number 2. It's called the soulmate myth. And I was like, damn, is that ever good? It's how many times have you thought to yourself, oh my gosh, this relationship, like, do I do more work on it? Is it worth it? What if I blew it? On and on and on it goes. And so, like, wow, I'm so aware of this, and I can see relationships as like these two dynamics, right? It's either the cat and mouse game, or you're actually dealing with like a whole resourced adult able to have difficult feelings and communicate, difficult things. So compatibility is something that you choose. Kristen says, I love this amazing life. I love this path. We're on so much joy. Yes, Trish says, well said. What do you guys think about that? Comment in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions. So that's the second myth. The third myth kind of piggybacks on the first, on the second. The third myth is that, how many of you guys have heard time heals all wounds? Time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Time doesn't heal shit. You know what heals? You know how to heal and go through like transformation. And I can talk about this. I've been in women's empowerment, this space, for 14 years, I've had the blessing of working with thousands of women that somehow feel safe, to let down their guard and share their stories with me, and heal. I'm really good at holding safe space, but time doesn't heal your wounds. Time doesn't heal your wounds. Digging in deep, strapping your tits on, doing the real inner work, that's what heals, right? And in my experience, you can't see your own blind spots. Get a mentor, get somebody who's been down that path that can show you the way, because you're going to save years of your time, thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars, in time, money, and resources that you can never really get back. You can't get your time back. You can't get your time back. And you can't see your own blind spots. So invest, the one thing that I see across all time with the successful women that have worked with me, and I mean, there's thousands over the last 14 years, the one thing that all of the successful women did and continue to do is invest in themselves. That's the one thing that's the only thing you can really take to the grave is yourself, your soul. Hello, love yourself, right? You're worth it. Invest in yourself. Those are the women that really get amazing results. All right, rock stars. So Susan says, taking action is key. Kelly says, really good stuff. Kelly says, building a home to come to. Yes. All right. So we're going to dive in and do a little training, because I really want to share with you some of these keys that I've picked up along the way. And give me one moment, please. I can pull up the slides. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. And what if I go here and just hit share? Yeah. And then I'm going to hit play. Ta-da! So this is officially, I'm calling this the sensual expansion live stream. How to unleash and embody your divine feminine. The last 2 years of my life have been absolutely monumental change and transformation. And I've kind of moved into this, totally moved into this new space of, hey, surprise, I've always been an artist. And the truth is I've been doing naked, semi-naked, totally naked photo shoots my entire adult life. I just haven't really shown anybody yet. And I'm an amazing photographer. And I've been really passionate about empowering women. And a lot of my, most of my niche has been with, women who are in business, who are breaking through these visibility blocks and healing shame around their self-worth. And I think at the core of all personal transformation work, we're always looking at worthiness, whether you're making $1 million, $5 million, $10 million a year as a real estate agent, or, rock star corporate, and want to do something else, want to launch into your coaching career, whether you're a massage therapist wanting to, transfer into something more profitable, more aligned, you're going to face these visibility blocks, and you're going to have to look at your shame. And so I'm still working with women on shame, but just a different kind, whether it's emotional pain, emotional shame, body image shame. So I'm actually I got super triggered the other day on Facebook by somebody's comment. And I realized dang, I'm still really passionate about this. And I'm right along here with you guys in this world of breaking through my own visibility blocks, just on another level. Here I am naked, folks. And I think it's beautiful and gorgeous. And I've been working with a lot of women who are very successful entrepreneurs, real estate agents. They have their own businesses. Some of them are coaches, some of them aren't. And they're wow, either, I want to have deeper, more connected relationships, and I don't know, something's blocking me, and I'm really ready to have better relationships. and or they are kind of stuck in the trauma, right? They've lost themselves somewhere along the way, overworking, stressed out, and hey, women are mothers to their children, sisters, daughters, wives, there's so many things on our plate. So today we're going to focus on how to unleash and embody your divine feminine. We'll talk about sensual expansion. I'm going to share with you guys some of these pictures, like this one. Holy smokes. This one I actually shot right before my Take Your Power Back Now book that came out, that launched a global movement, but like ran alongside of it. I was still doing naked photo shoots for people. And I think there is, just so much power and expression and creativity. My father was an artist. He was a famous artist. My grandfather, great uncles, famous Canadian artists. And I used to judge them. I used to judge the F out of, first of all, artists. Never wanted to be a starving artist. I used to judge the F out of women who are like half naked on Facebook and be like, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these women? Why do they have to flash their tits on Facebook in order to, like, it did not sink in. It did not land with me at all. And I think I just got to a place, I'm at a place in my life where like, I want to be creative and this is what I'm interested in. This is my edge. This is what's beautiful. And I don't give a fuck what people think. I can't tell you the freedom. I can't tell you. This is not to like get somebody back. This is not to like put my tits on Facebook. This is complete pure creativity. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. People are going to judge you. They judge the F out of me. So what? So what? Who cares? So this is really about claiming yourself, right? Claiming yourself. And it's not looking outside of yourself for somebody's approval. I'm not doing this because I need people to tell me like, oh, you're 43 and you look hot. Like, this has nothing to do with that. This is really about, wow, I'm going to put myself out here and there's no going back. Vanessa, you put that picture out there, ain't no going back. That's for me to not slink back and hide. Yes, you know what I'm talking about? This is my own edge. This is purely selfish edge. So here's what we're going to cover, how to release the trauma that traps you in the cycles of overworking, stress, overdoing, overgiving, people pleasing, how to start creating your incredible life and business right now with a lot more peace and ease, why holding on to the shoulds, the good girl persona, your old identity will leave you frustrated or broke, not enjoying your business, how to unleash and embody your divine femme, peaceful profits without the hustle, way more creativity, tips for loving in the unknown. We talked about these myths, the space between what you know and that like inkling knocking pervasively for you to expand into, tips for moving through the fear of the unknown to the gold on the other side, how to get over disappointing people, guilt, body shame as you embrace this next evolution of you as the divine femme unleashed, and how to begin honoring your fuck yes as your own pathway to liberation. As a matter of fact, I believe right now, it's really interesting. I wrote an email the other day about how you just can't not be in alignment anymore. Isn't the most interesting thing? Let me know, comment here in the chats if you resonate with this, but like how you can't not be in alignment anymore, whether it's with a business model, whether it's with your behavior, the ways of doing things, whether it's in a relationship, it's just going to blow up. Dissolve, the end. It's like the most radical time on the planet here of awakening. We're going to talk about how to move through painful emotions, how to start uncovering and healing the trauma in your body so that you're not in fight or flight mode and you can be really fully expressed as this divine rock star that you are. Next evolution of you, how to tap into the frequency of flow, presence, abundance, grace, and how to trust love fully in its expression, how to drop your masculine shield, how to heal the toxic feminine so you can relax and receive more, how to heal shame, the facets about it in your body, your business, so you can unleash all of you. You know why this is so important? What I realized in this journey is that it takes a lot of energy. Oh my God, does it take a lot of energy to hang on to what we know? Even though we know it's maybe not what we want, it's just what we know. it takes a lot of energy to hold on to, the ways of being, the ego, and when we move through that, wow, the creativity, the sheer power and the energy that you have access to, it's amazing. It is amazing. So I'm really, really passionate about sharing these new tools, and how to be met fully in life, love, and business, right? Deep intimacy is really about into me, I see. You can only meet somebody else to the extent that you have gone there yourself. So welcome on the inside. Here's a picture of my tits on Facebook. I posted this, and it's not like here's my tits on Facebook, but it was a photo shoot that I did, and it just happened to be National Women's Day, International Women's Day. I was like, well, I'm gonna post this on Facebook. Oh fuck, ain't no going back now, right? Geez, this is like, is it gonna shut down my Facebook account? And it was this edge of like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, enough about being a coward, Vanessa. You've been projecting out there to other people that they're cowards. You're the damn coward. So it's like one of the first keys, right, of healing trauma is to notice when you project out there to somebody else, 3 fingers pointed back at yourself. So I posted this, and did I get judgment? I shared this in a previous live stream. First of all, I got judged by mostly the people that were closest to me. Okay. Mostly the people that were closest to me, family relationships, personal relationships. My mother, she was like, oh my gosh, it's pretty, but like, what about your eyebrows? What happened to your eyebrows? And she talked about my eyebrows for like 15 minutes. And I was like, hey mom, this is like, has nothing to do with my eyebrows. Like, this is the one thing you're picking out here. I'm so sorry that you harshly criticize yourself. She didn't know what to say. I'm going to hang up the phone if we talk about my eyebrows. It has nothing to do with my fucking damn eyebrows. And it was a real moment because like the old me would have been so triggered, why is she being so critical? And kind of like post healing here, I'm like, wow, I really have compassion for people and in their projections, right? It's like, I don't take it on personally. It's a new level of freedom. So that's really interesting. And then the second picture that I posted, I got a lot of shit, a lot of judgments. You can follow that on Facebook, is this one. Now, there was a shooting in Texas. People said, Vanessa, you're heartless, you're careless. I can't believe you posted a picture of yourself with a gun. Who are you as a women's empowerment leader? And I want to talk about this because it was such a beautiful case in point. And this is the post that really, this back and forth banter really lit me up. And I was like, I can see that. I can understand that. I mean, I can never understand, first of all, the pain that a parent would go through losing a child at the careless insanity of somebody walking into a school or into a public place with a gun. Like that cruelty, that pain, that is something that hopefully I never get to experience. My heart goes out to people like that. I get this. And the other part of it is, the woman's like, oh my God, your timing. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, my timing. You're so insensitive, So wow. It's like, wow, look at all this judgment and criticism. And you will all face this as entrepreneurs. You will be so judged. And I'm not going to sit here as like, and blow smoke, fluff up your ass and tell you that, oh my God, it's going to be so rad when you start your business. No, you're going to deal with all your shit, man. And you're going to deal with other people's shit. And you're going to have to grow enough thick skin to really stand in who you are, what you stand for, have an opinion, and understand that opinions are like assholes and everyone's got one. Do your work anyways. And so it really got me fired up. I was like, wow, this is a perfect example of why so many women hire coaches to break through their fear of judgment, fear of criticism, fear of shame. Let's have the real topic of conversation here is like, yes, this is my AR-15 and I'm, having a photo shoot in my basement with an unloaded gun. I'm not hurting anybody. Let's have the real conversation of why do people behave so cruelly? Why do they do that? Let's talk about why we don't teach children in schools about how to manage their emotions, about how to heal trauma. Let's have that conversation. Let's talk about the actual root cause of this, because guns don't kill people. Guns are a tool or a weapon. I mean, people die on roads every single day. They don't take cars away. Hello, drunk people get into cars and they kill people, and those people get correctional services. They get punished. They get removed their license. We don't take cars off the road. Okay. The timing of things, you go to a restaurant, you're eating a burger. Somebody doesn't come up to you and say, oh my God, there's a climate change war here going on here. How the timing of you eating a fucking burger? Like, really? You're going to face massive opposition, massive judgment, and do it anyways. Because in my books, unless you're pissing somebody off, you're really not making an impact. In the height of my career, when I had a massive team and was investing upwards of $90,000 a month on paid advertising, I had 2 people on my team, and their sole job was to edit all the stupid comments on my Facebook ads. Is she selling bikinis or is she selling spirituality? I don't understand. Thick skin. You guys are going to need to have it. It's not going to, that's the real inner work, you guys. And I'm still going through it. I'm with you. Okay. I'm like lit up right alongside with you. Only this ain't my first rodeo. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen share here for a minute. And then
You can't tell God how to bless you.
some of your comments here.
See, you can't.
I want to know what you
What
got.
you want,
Ooh! Hold on.
because it ain't gonna ever be the way you want it.
That's kind of interesting because it's never going to be the way you want it. Don't tell God what you want and then tell him this is the way that I want it. It was actually perfect timing. That video played again. Okay, I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to keep jumping into it. Let me just check into some of the comments here, some of the questions that you guys have. Most of my clients and myself are going through this. Whatever is not integrity with your soul is getting kicked out. It's like drop that or die holding on to it, isn't it? Yeah, lots of great comments and questions here from you guys. And what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the fear of being judged, criticism? Do you guys struggle with that yourselves? Is that something you worked on or are currently working through? Let me know in the chat, and I'm going to continue with the training. So I've got some cool content here for you guys as well. So why do you hide? That's the real question. Why do you hide? You want to be a healer. You want to be a coach that makes $10,000 a month, $50,000 a month. I don't know, pick a number, doesn't really matter. You want to have a more fulfilling career. You want a better relationship. Why do you hide? Whether it's hiding out in this like good girl persona, or it's not really being fully expressed. You're like playing on 30-50% of who you are. You're not really speaking your truth out there. You're not really promoting yourself. You're not really doing videos, even though you should. You're not really doing it. Why do you hide? This is the real question. This is an interactive conversation, you guys, right? This is about you show up here, you're going to get the most benefit out of this. I've already done this work. I'm still doing this work. I'm never going to teach you things that I don't personally do myself. That would be out of integrity. But why do you hide? I want to hear in the chat, why do you hide? And let me go back here and check in. I don't like being judged. Super challenging. It was super challenging to bust through visibility blocks. Yeah, Kelly is one of my previous clients. Susan, yeah, it's that kind of old witch wound, I think. Safer to hide, right? The witches get burned at the stake if you're getting out there with all your woo-woo stuff, right? Yep, was doing okay, but the past 2 years brought up wounds for review. I mean, you're not alone, Kristen. I'm not hiding anymore, Kelly Rockstar. Sharing myself fully with people that appreciate you. Awesome, Kristen. Fear of getting judged, right? So when we're kids, the ego is, and there's no judgment here, like safe space, put it out there. No one's criticizing you or judging you here. It's just like a safe space for you guys to explore this, because this is what really will allow you to break out of your awareness, right? First step is like to become aware. Once it's conscious, it can't stay hiding in your subconscious and screw you up. Kelly says, yeah, I'm a witch and I got hunted for being a witch. Your fear of fame. Yeah. So a lot of people, I'm glad you brought that up, Trisha, because so many entrepreneurs think, oh my gosh, it's like, it's fear of failure. It's fear of failure. No, it's also fear of success, right? We're making machines. So something happened in the past, brain stores it. It's your mind is like a recording and a playback device. Don't want that to happen again. Don't want to burn out again. Oh my gosh, if I have so much money, my husband will leave me. My kids will hate me. I'll become too busy. I'll get sick. I mean, it's fear of success and failure. It's both. And you got to dig those out. You got to become aware of them. And you got to install, new behaviors, new beliefs, new concepts of self. And with a lot of kindness, care and compassion, grace for yourself, because those are just ways that, this younger part of you used to keep itself safe. Only that doesn't serve you when you're wanting to make an impact in the world, to help people, share your story, turn your lemons into lemonade, be an inspirational leader. It really doesn't serve you. So many people are toxic in their expression. I don't want to share with those who do not deserve to be exposed to my precious self. That's a great boundary. Shamika says, facts, Vanessa. Kelly says, you almost have to be ready to let go of everyone. Right? Woo! It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint-hearted. So many women are afraid to show up. Yep. That's why I'm doing this live stream here today. So next question for you guys. Why do you hide? That's one great question. And then what's not safe about fully expressing yourself? Like, so what's going to happen? Like, let's follow the cookie trail, right? So then what? So what happens? Like, follow the cookie trail. You're going to see that it's always about the fear of dying. That's the ego is afraid of dying. I have died 1,000 times in the last 2 years. I teach this shit, and I was terrified. I thought I was going to die. It was before I got, divorced, but I had so much pain in my body that I hired a yoga teacher here in Mount Shasta, because I was like, I'm never going to do yoga on my own. I know I need to move through these emotions. It's way too painful. I would just cry. And I remember leaving the yoga studio thinking, maybe if I got hit by a car, that'd be a good way out of this mess of my life that I've created. I did not see a way out. And I shared that with my ex-husband, my sister, and they're like, oh boy, you sound depressed. Like, holy smokes, this is serious. You should see if, get some pills. I was like, dudes, I'm a healer. I'm going to sort this, all emotional, your issue in your tissues. I'm going to sort this out. Hired a mentor, did a lot of deep inner healing work, reparenting my inner child, healing trauma. Holy smokes. And I thought the pain would kill me, but it didn't. And I wouldn't trade. I would not go back and say, I wouldn't do that. It was necessary. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful it's done. Really, on the other side, so much joy, so much peace, so much creativity. But there was a lot of fear around, oh my God, I'm gonna let this coaching business go and become a fucking photographer and an artist. What the fuck? I'm gonna let all these people down. Yeah, the worst person to let down is yourself. You got to live with yourself every day. A lot of guilt, right? Would not trade it in. Would not trade it in. What's not safe about fully expressing yourself? So then what? What will happen? You'll see that it's always a fear of death, right? These people are going to judge me and then I will die. I'll get kicked out of the tribe and I will die. Or I'll be out on the street. Like, that's, the fear of death is what the ego uses. And then the third question is, what are the payoffs for allowing this to run your life? What are the payoffs? What are the payoffs to not being fully expressed, to not really putting yourself out there, to, living life at like, 55%. 55% joy, 55% pleasure. It's not that bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. Safe, comfortable. awareness. I'm inviting you guys here into a conversation, interactive, and also this awareness, right? Because what secret you bring into the sacred cannot run your life anymore. That's how we heal shame. So I'm inviting you guys, what are the payoffs for you allowing these fears to run your life? What are the payoffs? What does it allow you to do? Not have conflict in your relationship. Go ahead and comment in the chat. I want to hear. I'm going to take a peek. Being compared. It's insane. We spend our lives being too chicken to live as we think we will be killed or die of humiliation. Time to let go of all that nonsense. Yeah, right on, Susan. Staying in my comfort zone. It's comfortable. Yeah, what's the payoff? You don't get judged. You don't have people hate you. You don't cause a ruckus. A lot of people are terrified of confrontation. Oh my, we used to be afraid of confrontation. Try running a team of 30 people and avoiding confrontation. Ain't going to go over very well. Wanting to keep, abandoning yourself in order to keep love and keep people close to you. Recipe for disaster. This is about that. That's really how trauma expresses itself. I did a lot of that, rescuing other people, abandoning my own needs. Yeah. I let go of all that. Let go of a lot of people in my life. So many people that came to my marriage, friends of mine, bridesmaids, colleagues. You would not believe. You would not believe. It's the known. We think it's easy, but it's a high price. So letting go of the known. Yeah, what's easy and comfortable. What are the payoffs? This is a really interesting question. I hope you guys, if you're not sharing here, like, great if you are, you don't have to, but just for you. So here are the steps to healing shame and claiming yourself, unleashing and embodying your divine femme, no holding back. The first key is really noticing how you abandon yourself, your feelings, your needs, and expression. This could be your creativity. It could simply be your need for a freaking nap. How many of you guys have felt like life is happening so fast? There's so many people that require so much time and attention, and you go out the window. You're like the last thing on your list of priorities, right? Or the things that you really want to do, like travel, or I don't know, learn how to bake or do art or whatever, learn how to sing or pole dance, or I don't care, like, because of other people's needs, the kids' needs, the husband's needs, my mother's needs, my family's needs. Oh my God, the garden, the chickens. I remember at one point, it's like the dog's needs were more important. I had to go for a walk. I was like, right? Notice when and how you abandon yourself, your feelings, and the needs for expression, your needs or creativity. Here's the other thing that I'm gonna like open this up here to look at this even in relationship. When somebody does something or doesn't do something, and that dictates how we feel, right? It's like placing our own regulation, our own worthiness in the hands of somebody else. It's like giving our power away. It takes a lot of being whole, and understanding, you can never lose love from higher power, creator, God source. You can never lose love. This has been a trip learning this tool, something called inner bonding, where you show up for you no matter what. And I think that's really the greatest gift. People can do things, they can not do things, they can show up, they can not show up. It doesn't matter. I've got me. The end. You get to that place, and let me tell you what, your whole life changes. You're not run by other people's, expectations, by external validation. That's the first key. Second key is getting into your body, right? These are ways of adaptive strategies that we learned as children in order to survive, right? When you're a kid, you need mom and dad's love. Mom and dad could be unconscious, totally unconscious in their own trauma. You can't love somebody to the extent that you can only love somebody to the extent that you love yourself, to the extent that you've met yourself. And the trauma, it could be a little big T trauma, like a rape or violence, but it could be small T trauma. Just somebody didn't see you. Somebody didn't meet your needs. Somebody was sick. Parents got divorced, shamed, criticized, neglected. This is it's too much for a small little nervous system, and the fuse gets hit, and it stays in the body. So the way into all of this is actually through your body. Yoga, dancing. So I'm such a crazy fan about dancing. I've been dancing my whole life. I love it. Expressing yourself, moving emotions, breath work, learning how to regulate your nervous system, breathing. Holy smokes, right? We're either in fight or flight mode, shutdown mode, or we're in ventral vaga, where it's like we're cool. We're, things can happen and we can regulate ourselves. This is like a superpower. We've all been through the most incredible tyranny of fear here in the last few years. So no one's judging you, but this is the way out of it, getting into the body. And until we do this work, well, this is where all the addictions come from, right? Pick your freaking poison. It could be overeating, could be addicted to people, could be addicted to behavior, shopping, Netflix, smoking, eating, drinking, like numbing out, right? It's too much. Life is too much. I'm just going to check out, scroll on social media, not really being present. They're all avoidance, survival strategies. And so coming to that space within yourself of learning these tools, and also having kindness, grace, and compassion for yourself as you do the really deep inner work. Totally worth it on the other side. Really scary. The third key is healing your shame, right? The guilt, the unworthiness. Let's add heartbreak, loneliness, rejection, abandonment, hopelessness. These are really big feelings. These are really big feelings that most 7-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 12-year-olds were not equipped to handle. And I mean, I'm working with clients in this realm, very successful women entrepreneurs, that either have lost themselves or, want to have a deeper connection in relationships, or attracting a certain relationship, or want to break out and do something new, and are stuck in these kind of patterns. Can you have kindness, grace, compassion, and how do you face these? How do you close these energy leaks? Really deep work, right? To speak your truth with love, be seen and heard. That's how we heal shame. Whether it's shame in intimacy, shame in a relationship, shame in business, it goes deep. So speaking your truth with love in a safe space, and learning these new tools to actually show up for yourself, so that you're not dependent on external validation or getting love out here or approval out there, but you are your own. You know what to do. You can show up for you. I'm going to change your whole life right here. New edge. That's the third key. The fourth key is really what happens, this deep intimacy with self. I learned that intimacy is happening all the time. It's whether or not we are meeting it. I had this like really rad awakening of like, people ask you like, how are you? And you're like, oh, I'm fine. What if you told them the truth? Blah, 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 this just happened, or, bloody, bloody, blah. But you just told people the truth. You're actually going to meet life in a very magical way. The more you're vulnerable, excuse me, the more vulnerability you bring, and truth and honesty and authenticity you bring to the conversation, the more people also can relate in that way. I mean, I've had some rad conversations with like the Entreport CRM dude. He's like, how are you? I was like, I'm heartbroken. Da, 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 da. Like the stories, the inspiration, the like messages I've received, it's just been like life becomes magical. So meeting, when we let go of these, the persona, the identity, the shame, the fear of the unknown, and we, risk sharing our truth with love, risk being authentic. When you have that wholeness and you don't need external validation, it reflects, right? So this process of radical honesty, taking a radically honest look at what's under in the subconscious, what trauma is there, what's really running the show. It's either the fear or love, right? It's just like, you can't really have both. And then taking radical responsibility for what you find in there. And then finally having enough radical self-love to do something different, to learn new tools, practice them daily, kind of like a shower, right? Because if you don't have a shower, like, you can scream and cry all you want. I don't have to have a shower. Like, I'm here thinking about my sister's, my niece, Lily, my sister's daughter, who's 2 years old. Try telling a 2-year-old no. Holy bejesus. Like, what a fit, right? It's just 2 years old. She doesn't understand. Her brain is not there. Right? The only leverage we have is like, Auntie's going to eat all the popsicles. Like, that seems to be like, shit, I want that popsicle. That's, hey, the only thing that works with a 2-year-old. It's like a popsicle. But, you can see, it's been really interesting to kind of watch this in like real time, of like validating a child's feelings and seeing how the nervous system reacts, where's mommy, attachment. It's been super, super interesting. But regardless, if you don't want to have a shower or a bath or whatever, you can have a fit, but you're still going to stink. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you. So learning, radical honesty, radical responsibility, radical self-love is really the way. Learning some new tools. And finally, you can't see your own blind spots. Get support, invest in yourself, love yourself. You are worth it. I'm a big believer in mentors, in guidance, in coaches. Obviously, I'm in the space. I invest a ton of money into myself all the time. There's one thing that's constant, and that's change. And we're always growing. And we're never going to stop growing. And we can suffer in silence. We can find a community. We can find support, and not do it alone, right? You can't see your own blind spots. So I'm going to check in with you guys here and just see some of the comments. Anybody have questions? Kristen says, I believe it's about choosing where to express myself fully. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people she's saying still trying to figure out how to share, how to be more authentic, and not wasting energy on the wrong kinds of people. I think that's a really positive boundary, and I'll share with you guys a story here, just kind of off that cuff. So I'm going to do a screen share again. And if you guys are chiming in here on Facebook, I'm going to chime in your comments at the end. But there are 3 ways to work with me. And you can visit, some of these new offers at takeyourpowerbacknow.com. And again, I'm going to piggyback off of this idea that Kristen mentioned about, like, how do you not waste time, sharing your gifts with the wrong people? Where is that boundary? Where is that line? So this is a perfect kind of segue. But there's some new offers that I'm really excited about. And it's interesting, when I put them out there, I had 2 women that, messaged me an SMS, and they were like, I picked up the phone 3 minutes and I was like, I don't think this is for you. Goodbye. The end. Good night. Right. It was like, no, if it's not in alignment, it's going to be real fast. It's going to dissolve. It's going to blow up in your face. You cannot not be in alignment. So 3 ways to work with me. The first thing that I'm really excited about offering are private retreats with me here in Mount Shasta, California, in my home. And I'm calling these like sensual expansion. It's a customizable retreat. Think about photo shoots, nourishing food, inner work, dance, embodiment, claiming and unleash your divine feminine, choose your own adventure. There are waterfalls here that will blow your brains. There's like waterfall 10 minutes down the road, 20 minutes down the road, like 3 incredible waterfalls, lakes, rivers, hikes. People come from all around the world to Mount Shasta. It is like a super divine feminine portal. It's also going to like rip away anything that's really not aligned. It's connected with your root chakra. This beautiful view of the mountain. My home I think it's a pretty home. It's fully renovated. There's 3 bedrooms to choose from. I have a hot tub, sauna, infrared sauna in the garage. It's a goddess studio, stripper pole. There's some art tables. The whole house is really like a photo studio. So we can do some of the inner work. You can come and have some time for yourself. Like, it's great to have routine, but it's also great to like break away from the routine and come here for a few days and do some rad work and take some rad pictures. Like, and you don't have to do naked pictures. Like, you could just do branding photos. Some of the things that some of the pictures that clients have taken on a retreat with me or in my mastermind programs, my live masterminds that I've done, they're still using them like 10 years later, right? So a picture says 1,000 words. And it's also a great way to experience this like next evolution of you. So that's the first really fun way that we can work together. You can find out more on my website, takeyourpower.com, and just hit the work with me tab. Second really exciting offer is, you guys know that I did a rad retreat in Hawaii, and I'm offering a group retreat here in my home, July 14th to the 18th this year, 2022. I have space for 20 women. And I have one of my dear friends and colleagues who's going to come and teach like a tantra. This is not an orgy. Okay. This is like inner body, inner work, embodiment work, dance work. It's obviously not as, I can't go as deep with you guys on, as we did as we could do in a private retreat, but it's different altogether. You're in like soul sister community, nourishing food. She's going to do a tantra workshop. I've got another colleague of mine coming to teach pole dancing. She's going to bring some of her poles. You guys can camp out on the front in the property or get an Airbnb. I can connect you guys with some of the other people who are coming. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do photo shoots. I'll take you guys to some waterfalls. Maybe we'll hike up to Heart Lake. Transformation for life. Ask any of the women that have been on retreats with me. That's so nourishing. Soul sister time, goddess time, you time. So you can also apply for this on my, there's like a form on my website if you hit the work with me tab. And if you want to register for this retreat, you can also go to takeyourpowerbacknow.com/retreat, July 14th through the 18th. And I have space for 20 women. It's going to be a good time. I cannot wait to share with you the magic and transformation here of this beautiful space in Mount Shasta. So rad. Here's some of the waterfalls, some of the hikes. I mean, these are like 20 minutes away from the house. It's incredible. And it's really a beautiful time. There's a lake 2 minutes away. Waterfalls 20 minutes away. We're not going to go on like any crazy adventure, but it's just like light hikes. Get out there, experience the energy, deep inner work, nourishing, yummy food, soul sister time, photos, relaxing time. Have a good time. And yeah, I can't wait. I did one of these in Hawaii recently. It was a blast. So much fun. And just feeling called to, Hawaii and Mount Shasta are two of the most rad vortexes ever. So hope you guys can join me. The third way to work with me is called a visibility boost. So, I've been working with women around visibility for several years, and some people are still in like I don't have an audience. I'm not sure about my offer, and they're struggling with these visibility. Is this a new edge? This is new me. This is a new offer. Is it going to fly? Does it work? So one of the gifts that I have has always been copywriting, is like channeling. I listen to them and tell me about their story, and I like spit out program names, angles for videos, rad ideas for marketing. And it's made women millions of dollars. It's turned more housewives into millionaires than I can count on my hands and feet. Obviously, these people showed up, they did the work, they invested themselves, but it's quite a gift. And I do have a big network, a big reach. So what I started doing, and I thought was really fun, because that's really been a big intention of mine this year, is to just have rad conversations with awakening women. And so borrow my audience. We'll do a live stream like this together on Zoom. I'll promote it to my list. We'll get together on a call beforehand to kind of flesh out your offers. Like, what are you thinking of talking about? What is the angle? What are the stories? And then I promote it to my list. I stream it live. We have a conversation. You're interviewed as the expert. And then the replay goes out. It gets hosted onto YouTube, and you've got eyeballs, right? And I've got a community of like pretty rad um, women who are serious about transformation, right? Spiritual women entrepreneurs. And so it includes a private coaching call. The biggest key, I think, in all of this is that in 2022, the game of like advertising, putting yourself out there, attracting clients has really changed. People want an experience with you. They need an experience with you. And so it's a great experience to have live, but then you can use that video replay as like a marketing tool for the next few years. Somebody interacts with you on social media. You're like, hey, cool. Listen, why don't you watch this video? Drop the link. Incredible. I'm also going to share with you guys my Engage and Convert it's the latest training series. I invested a couple $1,000s to learn like what the heck is really working on social media today? Like what's going on here? So it's 13 videos, templates. It's in a Facebook group. It's really easy. I've been giving this to my private clients, but you also get access to this, and it's half price here for the next little while I'm promoting this here. I'm just launching this out here, but I can only do one of these a week. So if you're interested in that, go to my site, takeyourpowerbacknow.com, and then go to the Work With Me tab, and then click on the visibility boost, and you'll see all the pricing for that. So those are 3 ways to work with me. My clients are professional women. They're successful real estate agents, entrepreneurs, coaches who have been there, done that before. They're tired of the hustle. They're ready to heal. They're feminine, to feel safe receiving. And you can check out a ton of testimonials on my website. Many of my clients really, once they heal their shame and their visibility blocks, and they really come out fully expressed and aligned with like, what's their real fuck? Yeah, this is what I really want to do. They go from, for example, Erica, going for $60,000 this month. We've closed 28,000. Divorced mom of 2 kids. She came to see me and not enjoying her business. She was on the cover of Forbes magazine recently. These are rock stars, right? Invested in herself, was like, I need support. I didn't know I can't do this alone, and really showed up and did the work. So she wanted to make $60,000 in a month. She did 70. It's the same person. That's just insane. She's never done that before. Insane. Can I do this? Can I launch a group program? Are people going to like it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So let's figure out, the pieces of your puzzle. Let's customize this, and let me support you as you like launch this next evolution of you. Vanessa was a client of mine. Her name is very similar to mine, which is super cool. But she did a mastermind program with me. She did 2 masterminds with me. She came on a retreat with me to Hawaii, and she manifested, she did a lot of inner work, really, really showed up and, took action, asked a lot of questions. Now she's got a 5-acre property. She's doing her own retreat. She's got recurring income. And she said, I would not be where I am today if I took that money and invested in college. She was really young. I think she was like 21 or 24 when she joined my program. And she's like, I'm either going to go to college or I'm going to do Vanessa's program. And she's happy she did. She worked with me, and really, doing really living her purpose, right? They're not going to teach you this stuff in school. Tina, on track to make my first million this year. She has just gone, she has a company. She wanted to start speaking and really take her business in aging care, like helping people that are aging. And I've had a conversation with her recently. She's expanded in Nashville. Like, business is booming. And she said, it's not without your, not without your support. So whether it's in coaching or in entrepreneurship or in feminine leadership or in, your divine feminine, when you get support, the results are there. Nim was a yoga teacher when she met me. Now she has her own television show on ABC. She's interviewing, she called me up, said, hey, can I interview you? I was like, holy smokes, right? She was like a yoga teacher with nobody commenting on her Instagram. And she really did the inner work, showed up, took it really seriously, applied it, implemented it, and kept going. It's just incredible to see, women, in a 14-year career, to see them 5-6 years later, wow, to see where that, and I can't take, I don't take like the credit for the fact that she continued on the journey. I may have a small part in the fact that, she got started in one of my programs, That was the very beginning. But it's just incredible to see what happens when women really take their power back now and heal their shame and get a strategy and, you know, get launched and get out there. Really rad. She's done a TEDx talk now. She's interviewing Brian Tracy. I mean, you've got to check her out. She is rad, super inspirational. So rock stars, you're always one decision away from a totally different life. I hope that this training has been inspiring. I hope that you took away some nuggets. Go ahead and comment here below. What's one thing that you're taking away from today? One thing you're going to put into action, one idea, one nugget that you're like, wrote that one down. I'm going to chew on that. That one was an aha, a game changer. And I also want to go ahead and comment in the chat. Let me know what's one aha, one big idea, one thing that you're taking away that you're going to implement and take action on, because without that, it's just another webinar, right? I'm also going to drop here in the chat for you guys some of the links if you want to reach out to me. I am kind of on vacation. I'm not kind of on vacation. I'm on vacation. I'm enjoying my mom and my sister and her, my niece Lily here for the next couple of weeks. But I felt really inspired to share this with you guys and just pop on really quickly. I didn't do a ton of promotion. Host and panelists, but I'm going to copy all the links here for you guys where you can find the offers. If you want to chat with me, the best way to do that is just like hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and where I can leave you like a quick little response. There's the links to all of the retreat offers. If you have questions for me about doing a private retreat or questions about the group retreat coming out, hit me up on social media. It's probably the easiest way. I'll answer you. You could schedule a call with me, but it's only going to happen at the end of the month when I have some time. I'm taking the next few weeks off just to like garden and hang out at the lake and threaten my niece with popsicles. It's not true. I don't threaten her. So one big aha. Julie says, beautiful to witness your healing journey, divine woman. Thank you. Chemika says, how do we watch the replay? I'm going to shoot out the replay for you guys. Absolutely. You guys will have access to that. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome, rock stars. Well, we have gone 8 minutes over. It's been a little bit longer, and I want to honor your time. Thank you for joining me here today. I will shoot out the replay for you guys. Copy the links if you want to reach out. And stay tuned for the next rad live stream conversation that we have here. I love you. Keep showing up, especially when it's hard. That is just a myth that life should be easy. There is pain involved, and it's totally worth it. Kelly says, thinking about that. Thank you, Vanessa, for your inspiration, deep truth. You're welcome. Great conversation, Shamika. Rad. All right, rock stars, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys real soon. Aloha.